Happy Friday, everyone. Let's talk about the ultimate COVID pivot and how to bring a Laotian-inspired feast home to your family. Tiffany Chin here, your LA Realtor, and welcome to this week's Small Business Spotlight. So we faced a pandemic, a movement towards social justice. We've been persevering through quite a bit this year, and local businesses of all kinds have been forced to get creative and pivot during these times. So we at Tiffany Chin Real Estate want to do our part in helping to give back to the community that has been so good to us. So we're featuring a different small business every Friday, and today's spotlight is extra special to me as I get to spotlight a friend who found through COVID an opportunity to turn a passion for cooking into a business. So please meet Keo of BΑઆN KEO. Hi, Keo.
Hey there.
Hello.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me on my show today. All right, just need to adjust the camera real quick. So, Keo, I've had the pleasure of hearing your story through our mutual friend, Francis, of course. Hi, Francis. But for our audience who doesn't know, will you share with us how you got started with BΑઆN KEO? We'd love to hear the story.
Yeah, so I guess the full backstory is, I grew up really always into food and cooking with my mom. She always made me help her out growing up, and so that's where kind of the passion comes from. When you're young, you really don't know or care. But at some point, I was like, I'd like to go to culinary school, but in our culture, it's not really looked. Being a cook isn't really a great thing. So I went this typical route to go to college, and then after college, just did some odd jobs, and then my last desk job was about 3 years ago. I was doing HR consulting, and then our company got bought out, and then they left me with a decent severance, and so I was always used to working, and that's the first time that I didn't have anything really going on and some time to think. And SF City College, amazing place, offered a free cooking program. So I did this cooking program, accelerated program for about 3 months. And then right after that, I got really, really lucky and landed a line cook job at a place called Leo Yacht Club. Probably one of the best restaurants in San Francisco. And yeah, I just went hard and worked there for the last 2.5 years before COVID. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was getting in at like 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. every day for 5, sometimes 6 days a week.
Right.
And then COVID happened, and it's sad. We got totally derailed from the restaurant. Restaurant world is totally not the same anymore. Right. And it's really sad for a lot of people, but I couldn't really sit back and think. I wanted to think what to do next, and having a taste of the cooking culture, the cooking life, and feeling like I'm doing what I should be doing. I was like, I can't go back to a desk job. Like, I need to figure out how to make this work, even in COVID. And before COVID happened, I was planning to go more of a fine dining restaurant off this island, 2 hours out of Seattle. And then I had this job lined up, my dream job, and then that got derailed. And so I was like getting further and further away from my family in San Diego. And then with COVID happening, it was just like a shock and a true like pushback. And it was like, you need to go cook with your mom, where your passion came from. And yeah, and then so maybe 2 months ago was the first time that we did what we call a pop-up, but it's like we try to do a revolving pop-up between San Diego, where my family lives, LA, and then we're trying to make it to San Francisco. But that's pretty much the background.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like there were a lot of different, roadblocks, but it presented, great opportunity for you. So I'm very proud of you for, being that brave and just going for it. Love it.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so tell us, what is BAආN KEO? Why don't we start there?
So BAආN KEO, it's Laotian food, or inspired food. I guess that's what it's kind of geared towards. The name, so BAආN means home. KEO is my nickname. Shout out to David. He was my roommate, gave me that nickname, and everybody started calling me Keo. But I don't think many of our friends know, but my mom is actually named Gail. That's how you say it in Laotian. So that's her actual name. So BAAN KEO was just something we went off of, or I went off of. It was just like in Laotian would mean Gail's home, so our home. And it's the way I want to describe the food is Laotian inspired food. And I only say that because of how both my mom and I cook and the background of Laotian refugees coming to America. So what my mom cooks on her own is very traditional, but she had to make tweaks on recipes because she couldn't access ingredients like she would be able back in Laos. So she, after the Vietnam War, she traveled here, or she made her way here as a refugee, like a lot of our Laotian families, and so her food is totally different from if you went to Laos. So, and then the food that I cook is inspired by her, but with my background in cooking a little bit, we're just taking this non-traditional approach to traditional food. And I think that's kind of what I'd like to say makes it more special. Yeah.
I love that. It's a little like mishmash of everything in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, great. And what is it that makes it so special to your customers? And why do they like it so much?
I think so a lot of friends have been able to come to my parents' house and experience like a Laotian meal, or like coming to meet my family. And, it's part of our culture to just constantly feed people. Like that's, we don't have much money, but we'll always make sure you're full. It's kind of like the theme of Laotian culture. And so I think in most of the menus that we put together, there's always more than enough food, and the meals are geared towards enough for 2 people or more. And so it's just a mixture of different bites, and and to finish it up with a dessert. But yeah, it's more of like, I guess the special part is you get to experience all the food that I grew up with. So I'm really selfish in that most of the menu is always kind of what I want to eat, or my favorite foods growing up. And I just want to share that with people. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of what makes it special. It's like a little sneak peek into what, if you came over to my house to eat, or my mom's house to eat.
Right. What that would have been like.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your menu. I know that you mentioned that it's enough to feed at least 2 people, right? So tell us about the menu and at what capacity you're serving customers right now.
So this week's menu is $45, and you're getting grilled pork belly. It's a riff on, I think a lot of Asian cultures have this dish, but it's usually a soy braised pork belly with egg. Have you had that in your culture? It's like,
that's what you consider my culture. So my parents are actually from Burma.
Okay.
Like blood-wise, we're Chinese. So we have like Chinese food, some Taiwanese food, and Burmese food. So it's all kind of mixed together. But yes, I guess Taiwanese and Chinese food has a version of, pork belly.
Yeah, it's like a soy braised pork belly with like ginger and spices. And so that's, so instead of just braising it, we're finishing it off on the grill. And then it has a soft-boiled egg to go with it, a marinated soft-boiled egg. And then this is kind of my part in this, in kind of taking kind of a creative approach to Laotian food. Is I'm making more of a seasonal salad. So it's grilled long beans, which is traditional to us. And then grilled golden nectarines, a fish sauce vinaigrette, and a Thai basil pesto to go with it. And then we have a corn cake that we're putting as a dessert. And so that's meant to feed 2 people. That's more than enough. And it's all for delivery. Or it's all for pickup this time in Silver Lake. So if you want to order, go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. And so you're kind of switching off between LA and San Diego right now. So this weekend you'll be here in LA.
Yeah, this weekend is LA, this Sunday,
Okay.
and pickups anytime between 4 to 6:30.
Okay. Great. So, the most important thing, if, someone can't wait to try out your dishes, what's the best way for them to place the order?
The best way to place an order is through our website. It's baankeo.com, so BAANKEO.com. And we always have the menu and pictures of the new menu up before you order. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always email.
Okay, perfect. And you have to place the order by, was it tomorrow at 12?
Yeah, tomorrow at 12 is our cutoff, so we just prep and make sure that we have enough with everything.
Okay, great. Love it. Well, I can't wait to try my order.
Yeah, thanks for
on Sunday. Yeah, of course. I was like, well, I need to try it too. Well, Francis has been raving about the sausages, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, he's been super supportive, along with a lot of other friends.
A lot of people. Awesome. Well, thanks, Keo. I really appreciate your time today. Is there anything else that you feel like our audience should know?
So support small businesses and restaurants.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and thanks for doing this again.
You're so welcome. We're really pulling for BΑઆN KEO to, continue to grow and thrive. So I will see you Sunday, and everyone place your order by 12 p.m. tomorrow. And we'll see everyone else next week for our next Small Business Spotlight. Thank you. Stay safe.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.